Welcome to workout number 3 of your remote training, brought to you by ZeoFit. That's right. So, being that it's number 3, an odd number, you can expect today to be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more dynamic, and a little bit higher on the intensity scale. So, that being the case, let's get ready to go by doing our general warm-up like we always do. What did you think? Obviously, be meticulous, be methodical, get into a rhythm, focus on your breathing. Don't be like me, talking the whole time. You should not be talking your way through general warm-up. You should be breathing your way through general warm-up. If you need a refresher, of course, you can click that link, which will take you to quarantine workout number 12. That's where all the details on general warm-up are. So once you finish through that, we got 10 and 10. For the 10 and 10 we're going to do today for this third workout, we're going to go 4 walkouts with 1, 3 walkouts with 2, 2 walkouts with 3, and then the last walkout will be with 4. And if you want to throw in push-up variations, you can. So obviously you have single push-up, nothing to see there. You can do your ukimata for the 2 push-ups, or you can get a little bit more exotic with your scorpion push-ups, things of this nature. But that's kind of up to you and how good you are at push-ups. Otherwise, just stick to that rep count and you'll be fine. Then, of course, it never fails. You've got perfect corrective squats. Working on your breathing, good connection to the floor, great posture. You're going to need these today for the things that we're going to do. Once you finish up with that, get into a stability circuit. I'm not going to go through all the details of that. Again, another link. Click on it. Find the details of stability circuit if you need a refresher. And from there, you go into the ISO cuff series. ISO cuff, as you recall, that is, it's like the other day when we did sharks, except it's all those angles, and it's an isometric contraction. It's a static exercise. So I'm holding for 8 breaths this time. Let's elevate. So in. For 8 breaths, then release, go on to the next move. You know what? I'll bet you, yes, that link will take you to the details of ISO cuff as well. Once you finish through the warm-ups, you might need to do a little research, but once you get done with these warm-ups, come back and see me here for some of the work. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm standing out here in the back of the garage because we're getting ready for circuit number 1. We're gonna go through that 4 times, and the first thing here is gonna be an X carry. So I got a med ball, and I got a kettlebell. And I'm going to be carrying both of these things. The med ball I'm going to be carrying up overhead, and then the kettlebell I'm going to be carrying down by the hip in what's known as a suitcase carry. Now if I'm carrying 2 kettlebells by the side, it's not a double suitcase. Well, that's a farmer carry, right? That's a farmer carry. But if you're only holding 1, that's a suitcase carry. And then I add the med ball overhead, or the kettlebell. If you have 2 kettlebells, that's fine. This is an X carry. So that's what we're doing. We're going to walk 50 steps in this position, and then you're going to switch. Walk 50 steps in the other position. I encourage you to get outside. Go check out your neighbor's house. I'll bet you got some people that live 50 steps away. You probably haven't checked out their landscaping in a while. So the way you're going to do this, go ahead, pick up that this is the med ball. That's the kettlebell. Pick up the med ball, then the kettlebell. Then get the med ball up overhead and walk 50 steps. After you've walked your 50 steps, go ahead and drop the med ball. Set down the kettlebell with good form, keeping the posture, of course. Then all you got to do is turn around and pick them up again. Then walk back 50 steps, back where you came from. It's really that simple. X carry, 50 steps in each position. After that, come back inside, and you should end up right back where you started, right? And you've got a 3-position row going 8 times. Now, for those of you who are math whizzes, 3 times 8, that's 24. You're going 24 total reps here. That's a little high on the rep count. So you're going to want to set your resistance moderately, right? Don't pull your entire body weight if you're just going to be jerking your hips around halfway through. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to set myself at a nice, reasonable, I don't know, what does that look like? About 35, 40 degrees? And I will go my 3-position row. First position, palm up, palm in, palm down. And it's important to notice that when you do the palm down row, the elbow should go out to the side and be just about the level of the shoulders. So palm up, Elbows in tight, palms in, elbows neutral, palms down, elbows out to the side. And you go through that 8 times. Once you finish the 3-position row, down on the ground, you got freestyler. Just raising the arm of the opposite leg. It looks like this. You go 20 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. You keep the forehead on the ground. When you're laying prone like that and you're raising your back, etc., keeping your forehead on the ground is going to keep your neck relaxed. And typically, we want your neck to stay relaxed, right? That's not, we're not trying to give you a headache, right? So keep your head on the ground, keep your neck relaxed, focus on between the shoulder and the hip. That is the goal there. After that, you're on the back. We have an interesting move here. I'm not too proud to admit that I stole this from yoga. So we're calling this the Dynastat Body X. And what that means is that one side is working dynamically, the other side is working statically. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set myself up, spine straight on the ground. The thighs are perpendicular and the shins are perpendicular to the thighs. So you got 90-degree angles, right? Now I'm going to take my hand and put it on the opposite thigh, and I'm going to create tension. So I'm going to press using my abs, and I'm going to pull using my hip flexor. And I'm creating tension here. From there, I'm going to extend the opposite leg and arm, and I'm just going to bring that up. Just this way, 10 times. Then I'm going to switch, get that pressure. 10 times. And you want to think about keeping constant, strong pressure between your thigh and the palm of your hand. Right, you get through all that 4 times, and then we'll move on to the next thing. Hey, congratulations on finishing circuit number 1. Now it's time for circuit number 2. So, circuit number 2, that's where the real action happens. We're going to use quite a bit of equipment here. So we got the TRX. We're going to be working the stretch cord right here. And we'll be using that kettlebell. So basically just the med ball is getting left out, but I'm going to leave that med ball there just so he knows that we don't need him. All right, that's how I do it in my garage gym. So what we got first is the body row. We're going to be going through 5 rounds of this circuit, by the way. Body row, I want heavy. You already did the light weights with the 3-position row. Now I want you to get a body position that's closer to horizontal, and you're going to only work 10 reps. So great body position. You're planking here. Glutes strong, abs strong, shoulders down, away from the shoulder, away from the ears. And here we go on the body row. 10 times. You want to avoid jerking and throwing your body around. If it's too much resistance, guys, just take a couple steps back until it's the appropriate amount of resistance. You want to be able to work yourself in a way that's going to actually make you stronger. Not just get through the reps and say, I did it. You want to actually get the benefit of doing the reps the right way. All right, so keep your body strong. Go full range with great control. Speed, control. Okay? Got that? It's not that complicated. After the body row, you're going to switch to the cords. We're going to go a goal post. This is really for the teres minor back here. So you're getting up into this horizontal forearm or upper arm position. Well, they're both horizontal right now. And then you're going to rotate back 90 degrees, right? So when you see this from this angle, you want to have your elbows, shoulders lined up like a scarecrow. The forearms should be pointing straight out, and then you're just going to go back 90 degrees, right? You don't want to go up here. I see a lot of people going up. I see a lot of people going down. You want to hold here and just rotate. It's all about rotating the shoulder, not about raising or lowering. So again, when I go for this, and I'm going 15 reps on this, I'm just rotating here, trying to keep those elbows pinned and focus on keeping that movement as pure as possible in terms of that rotation. From there, I go into reverse fly with the cord, step back a little farther. Again, elbows in tight. Looking for that pure rotation again. I don't want to open up this way. Keep it in tight and just rotate, squeeze the shoulders down and back. You're going to try to pinch your blades together on this one. Here. We're going this one for 20 reps. So you got 10 on the body row, 15 on the goalposts, 20 on the reverse fly. Once you finish that, you're going to go with that kettlebell. There it is. Cleans. Now, let's talk a little bit about the cleans. Good body position. What that means is standing right over the weight. Low hips, tall chest. Straight spine, nice and tall. And then you're gonna reach to the weight, rotate a little bit. Now that rotation does not come from the knees. That rotation does not come from the hips. That rotation happens between the hip and the shoulder. So I'm here, symmetrical, and then I reach and just rotate the shoulders. Now I'm building up tension in my torso. The legs, symmetrical for the most part, as symmetrical as they can be. And then when I drive up, now I will open up the hip, and that's gonna create a massive amount of force across my torso. That's gonna provide a lot of the force to drive the weight up with the legs and then towards the body with the rotation. Because that's what you wanna happen here. The goal in a clean is to get the weight from the floor to the rack. From here to here. And you gotta be able to use your body strategically to be able to lift more weight than you could just lift with your arm. Right? The whole point is I'm picking this weight up off the ground and holding it, but I'm not just using my arm. I'm using the big muscles, and I'm using my torso to transfer force. So you'll see when I do this clean, I'm gonna really work to augment that rotational power by swinging the opposite arm through. So I set up with my right arm, nice and low, eyes forward, shoulders back, and I reach back here. Now when I lift, I'm gonna snap this arm through, and that's gonna help make my rotation sharp and quick. And that's what's gonna pull the weight into my body. Now, the movement on the clean. It's a little bit complex. I drive up, I rotate, I open up here, and that pulls the weight towards me. And then I close my body back up, and I meet the weight in the middle. And what that looks like, again, I'll show you slow. Right there, with the weight at full speed, it's gonna look like this. And you see the weight just comes up and kind of nestles into the rack, right? I don't have to force the weight in because it's already coming there. I just have to kind of catch it, right? This is a subtle technique. It takes a lot of practice to achieve mastery of, just like anything else. And just like any other kinds of weightlifting, if you don't have the technique, just use a lighter weight. See, that's the paradox of powerlifting. You need the technique to move a heavier weight. But if you don't have the technique, you can't move the heavier weight safely. So that means you have to learn with a lighter weight. But having the lighter weight allows you to use an inferior technique, right? So you have to just really, really practice with that light weight until you start to get competent. And that's really where the coaching comes in. So if you're not feeling confident with your technique when it comes to this clean, just do instead a crescent lunge, or a crescent squat, I should say. It's a great substitute for the forces across the body. We did this in workout number 1, but you're just gonna squat, you're gonna come up, bring the knee up, swing the arm around to the side. And that works as a body weight substitute for the clean until you're able to get your technique up where it needs to be. But if you are competent, if you are confident doing these lifts, then for this set of cleans, we're gonna go 12 alternating. So alternating means every time you set it down, we're gonna switch arms. So I'll do a few, it's gonna look like this. Set again. And the key is to make sure that you are setting your posture every time you set it down. So set it down, switch, make sure you're staying tall, and then hit the other side. Go 12 alternating, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Once you finish those cleans, you're just gonna hang from a bar. Got a 20 to 30 second hang. Nice and relaxed. I like to put my legs behind me. But if you want to put them in front of you, you can. I notice it changes the angle of the shoulder slightly. Both of them are valuable. So you can kind of play around with that, see what you like better. Knees in front versus knees behind. Knees behind, I find you get a little bit more extension through the thoracic spine. Knees in front, you get a little more engagement of the chest. And both are valuable, so, switch it up. After that, you got a single wall walk-up handstand, but you're gonna hold that for 20, 30 seconds. So same amount of time as the hang. Step up onto the wall, you should be in a plank. Small steps backwards as you walk your way up the wall. Get yourself nice and close to the wall and hold that body position and breathe. You got 20, 30 seconds here. Walk down with control. Don't just slide or fall down the wall. Walk with control. And you've just finished a round. You got 1 round of 5 in the bank. Now go ahead, finish up the other 4, and you'll be good to go.